Guys, welcome to the Level Up project. I'm here with the one and only Kenny Love. His name is actually Kenny Morales, but he's going to explain a little bit more on why that second part is there. Kenny, I mean, what can I say about Kenny? We're good friends. We built a insane bond in such little time. It's been less than a year. He is a excellent person, has a great value system, is extremely consistent on what he does, and he's just an awesome all-around guy. Power play networker, amazing energy. I think my intro is getting a little bit long at this point, so without further ado, I'm just gonna let the man himself introduce himself.
Thank you. No, you can keep on going though. I like that. Just keep on going. I mean, just talk about me all day. That's awesome. No, thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate being here, being part of your podcast. You truly are one of the people that I consider my inner circle. I'm grateful to call you a friend.
Appreciate that, man. That means a lot. But tell me, or tell us,
Yes.
Kenny Love, where did you get that love part, and what does that mean?
Okay, so my last name is Kenny Morales. So I'm part of a networking group, and somebody just started calling me Kenny Love, and it was explained to me that it's the amount of love that I give back to the community, the amount of love that I give to people around me. Because one of the driving forces behind what I do is enhancing the lives of other people around me.
Wow,
Yes.
that's deep. Wow, man, that sounds awesome. It's really the first time that I've heard that from anyone. Enhancing the lives of people around you. I've heard a lot something, leave people better than you found them, and give back value. But I really see it in you, like you live it. You like live it and you believe it, and that's what you are. So that's awesome. Tell me a little bit more about you and about your life. And I know you have a business and you do some other things. This being a business and lifestyle podcast, tell me, shed some light on that.
Like as far as the lifestyle part, I like traveling. You know that. I enjoy traveling. You were also told you about one of the things that I try to do yearly is go to a new place, a new country, but bring my family along. Like for instance, the last time I traveled, went to Santorini for my mother's 60th birthday, and that was an emotional part. And
Nice.
that to me, you can't take those memories away. Traveling with the loved ones, spending time with the loved ones.
Definitely. I'm sure there had to be something that got you to have that freedom to be able to travel and spend time with your loved ones. Now, what is that something?
Entrepreneurship.
Let's talk the big E. The
Yes,
big E. Let's talk about the big E, man.
entrepreneurship.
Tell me about that big E. What are you an entrepreneur in?
Okay, so I'm blessed to be called the owner of Genesis Chimney.
Great.
We are your one-stop shop for residential and commercial gas fireplaces, wood fireplaces, pellet stoves, electric, installation, repair, service.
Okay.
And we also have a really awesome brick lane team, brick and mortar repairs.
Cool.
Yes.
Cool. So that's super important. Most people have houses. Everybody has a chimney.
They
need
do.
it taken care of. What made you get into that?
Money. So I'm a history major. I'm graduating from college, and then I'm like, well, you know what? I have a couple of ways to go because I worked myself through college. And so one of the things was, oh, you know what? I can keep on pursuing history, potentially become a teacher. And then I'm getting really close to graduation, and I'm like, you know what? I do want to pursue law school though. Okay. But the investment was big at that time. Right, and I was looking at all my options, and then I saw this ad on Craigslist at that time, chimney company looking for an office manager. I saw the salary plus bonuses. I was like, you know what? Not a bad idea. Yeah. So then I ended up going to this interview. I went up looking nice, and I walked out of that interview. I'm like, I don't know if that's for me because it wasn't a right fit. But the owner of that company, who's one of my mentors, Chuck Hall, he asked me. He's like, he looks at my resume. He's like, oh, you're a history major. I'm like, yes, I am.
Right.
He's like, this book. He pulls out this huge book called the International Residential Code Book. He's like, if you learn the code book, you'll be one of the best technicians in the industry in no time.
Really?
So I took that challenge. Okay. I took it up. So I kind of went home and I was looking at this thing called the IRC, and I could use my history degree in the chimney industry. Like I can remember
way.
a date
Yeah.
and I can remember what it's about. Like chapter 10 of the International Residential Code,
Yeah.
R1001.1, 1.3. I realized that soon enough I can remember a number and then I can associate it to an event.
Oh, wow.
So that's what got me in this. Plus the money was good.
Yeah.
And then it became a passion.
That's cool. So you made, based on that book, he made a connection to something that you had a passion about, and then, money, which everybody needs.
Yeah.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah, so I was not passionate about it growing up. I mean, I had a fireplace almost.
Yeah.
I smoked my house because I didn't know how to use it.
Right.
But little bit by little bit, I started understanding the importance of a fireplace, fire prevention, what it means to people to have a qualified person repair or even inspect their fireplaces, right? To be honest with the feedback and say, this is satisfactory condition.
Right. Okay. Interesting. So how did you go from that to where you are now? And where are you now? For other people that don't know, where you are and what you do, how did you go from working at a fireplace company to now owning Genesis Chimney?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
It was a long journey, but somewhere it was a few years ago that I started writing down a goal list, and then one of those goals was either become a partner in the business that I was working at, buy the business, or start my own business. The first two obviously didn't pan out, and I'm grateful for that. And 2022, I decided to take that jump.
Nice.
Onto entrepreneurship.
2022.
Yes.
So 2 years ago.
Yeah, we're rock and rolling now.
Wow, in 2 years.
For a 2-year company.
Wow.
That's why I say we are blessed. The growth that we're going through, the amount of support from the community, from friends like you, I'm grateful for that.
Wow, that's awesome. And you're an avid networker and you love building connections with people. I see you out and it's just, when I see you, it's like, man, he has such a great energy, such a charisma. Share a little bit, like how has networking and meeting people influenced the business that you have now, and what should people know about it? Like, should people go out and network? Should they join a group like where we met, like BNI, for example? Yeah. Should they be a member of their local chamber of commerce? Let's say people out there that want to start a business and are in a similar position. Is networking a way for people to get business, and how can they go about that? Because I see you as a person that's done that and that has done that extremely well. So I would love to learn how it was that you did it and kind of what people can also learn from that so that they can potentially do it,
Yes. And I met you through networking. Again, like you said, right? I'm a member of BNI, Bethesda Business. And
you're an ambassador, actually.
Ambassador to BNI Central. What I could say to a young entrepreneur who's deciding to make that jump is get well connected with a good network. And networking is the key. How it has helped us, right? For example, I mean, my business advisors are from the group that I'm at. The person that does my insurance, Mark Bruno, he is from the group that I'm at.
Right.
He's also a business advisor. You hear me talk about the people in my group, right? My CPA, Berman, shout out to you, my friend. Berman Berger, the best CPA in the entire universe.
The best.
So the best, and through networking, I don't network to get the referrals. I network to build the friendships.
Okay.
Because then people, like for example, like you and I, we bounce ideas off of each other.
Right.
And then it's about, as well, building that strong network. It takes a village to start a business.
Right.
That's why I didn't do this on my own. I've had really good people.
Yeah. And that reminds me a lot also about the time that you mentioned the little bamboo tree.
Oh, yeah, that's the favorite one.
Talk to me a little bit about that, because I have it in my mind, but it's very faint. But I feel like that's the way that you came from, and where you came from, and now you grown the business to where it's grown. So I'd like the people watching this to understand the bamboo tree example.
You remember when we were chatting, when we were sitting down?
Faintly.
Yeah, it was a Truman charity event that we went to. We went outside and we were sitting down and...
Dude, that felt like a while back.
Yeah, it's less than a year ago.
I know. I know. When you the thing is when you do a lot of things
Yeah.
in a certain period of time, like it feels like it's extended, like it's a long time.
Yes. So the bamboo tree, I came across this several years ago. The story goes is right. A man goes and plants a bamboo seed in his front yard.
Hmm.
Okay, and he waters that seed week after week after week. Nothing happens. He keeps on watering that over a year. Nothing happens. His neighbors start looking at this man just watering that same spot for a year, for 2, 3 years, and they start thinking he's crazy.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my God, look at that guy. He's going out at the same time, watering that same spot, nothing is growing. And then he keeps on just watering that same spot. At year 5, a little sprout comes up.
Mm.
Within months, that bamboo tree hits 90 feet tall.
Oh wow.
So that's what we were talking about, building those relationships, right? It's about giving back, keep on watering those relationships. Because at one point, you're just gonna skyrocket.
Yeah.
You're gonna, what do they say now,
Yeah.
to the moon?
Yeah. To the moon.
Yes.
Wow. That's awesome. That kind of feels like what's happened to you.
Yeah,
is kind of what's
really
happened to you.
fast.
That is what's happened to you.
Yes.
Man, that is very cool. Okay. Now bring something else into play.
Sure.
Family. How do you
Absolutely.
balance? Like create a balance between, because when you're an entrepreneur, you work very hard. You know,
Yes.
you're working, you're networking, and you have a bunch of other things that you have to do at the same time. How do you balance that with time for kids per se?
All right. At the beginning, there's no balance.
Yeah.
You know that. Most entrepreneurs know that. There's no balance. There's a certain amount of sacrifice
Mm-hmm.
that must be done. And I'm saying must, right?
Yeah.
There's a certain amount of sacrifice. But eventually, like you said, right? Once things start picking up, once revenue comes in, once the business is cash flow, you're hiring other employees to come and relieve you of some of the duties that you had. Then now for me, the focus is whenever I'm with my kids, I'm not answering that phone call for business. Whenever I travel with my kids, I am not answering that phone call.
Really?
When I'm with my parents and all that, I don't. That's a non-negotiable for me.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Good thing you're not a doctor. That'd be tough, man.
Well, let me think like you. I would pay somebody to answer that phone call for me.
That's
how you would think.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, that's how you would think.
Potentially.
Yes.
You know me a little too well. Potentially. Okay. What do you like to do other than business, other than network, other than like spending time with family, and other than travel?
Giving
Right.
back. Giving
Yeah.
back to a community like today.
What were you doing today?
Oh,
For the people that don't know, what were you doing today?
I was at the wharf in DC. I ran a mile in my underwears for an organization that's called the Children Tumor Foundation.
Okay.
And what they do is they raise awareness for children with NF.
Mm.
It's a disease that affects the muscles
Mm.
for children. So it's our civic duty to give
course.
back. I mean, I'm in a blessed position to be having the lifestyle that I have. And I think we talked about it one time. Remember, like when's the last time you went to the grocery store and had to worry about, can I really afford what I'm about to buy?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
I haven't had that in a long time.
Right. Or the gas thing.
Or the gas thing, right?
Yeah.
Going to the pump and saying, can I really fill this up?
Right.
Right? So again, I've been blessed, so that's something that drives me. That's a passion of mine to give back to the community as much as I can.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I remember we had a conversation at ArtStream,
Yes.
and it's something that really impacted me because I told, what was it, some conversation that we had, but the one line that I remember is that you said, like, the only thing that you can do for me is give back.
Yes.
Like instead of doing something for me, I want you to give back and help somebody else.
Yeah.
That just hit me, and it's like, wow, they're really. And I told my mom this. I was like, wow, like look at this, and like there really are people like that, because that's rare, you know. Most of us kind of are like out there. We want to get what's good for our own self, and let's say selfish in a way. And that's good. It's like the airplane thing. They tell you put your mask on first
Yeah.
and then help other people. But I feel like you're the guy that would help other people and then put on his mask. Like, where does that selflessness channel from? Where is like, and we probably talked about that. I think in that
Yeah.
after Art Stream in the Colombian restaurant, you told me a little bit about kind of the origins of that. But I want to know more. Like, where does your selflessness come from? Like, what's that inner core, that inner mantra that's just keeping you going with helping people and giving back and philanthropy?
That's a big shout out to my parents. I can take no credit for that. That is the way they raised me. I've seen my mother give back as well.
Yeah.
Next podcast we'll talk about that story that changed my life. I've seen my dad help other people, employ other people, and give more than what he was receiving. And I always questioned that.
Yeah.
But as I grew older, I realized the value of giving back.
Yeah. Oh, that hits hard, dude. That kind of reminds me of my grandfather, he was a gynecologist, and my grandmother, he died, but my grandmother's still alive. And he's the type of doctor that would give people free consultations and take care of them for free because he would want to give back. He would want to help people. Like, he went into medicine to help people. And my grandmother was like, "You're not making any money. Like, we could be doing something else. We could be in a different position like your other friends." And it was like this little kind of story. That's one tangent.
Mm-hmm.
Another tangent is that there was a little story that I think some health company came over and they wanted to sell them pills and something, and he was like, he didn't want to negotiate with them. He was like, no. And then my grandmother was kind of like, well, "You're so dumb. You don't accept it. You could make that money and then we could do other stuff. And he was like, if I negotiate with them, then the amount that I can spend is less. And yes, while I'll be able to make more money for myself and for our family, I'll buy less pills, and that means I can help less people." Absolutely. So for him, that selflessness came in, and that kind of reminds me of what you said. And he was like, he wants to help people. So he was a doctor, and I'm sure he made good money, but he would rather help more people than make more. And that's kind of the similarity that I see with my mom's side of the family and then with you. So I guess what you say about it comes from your parents really hits home to me.
Yeah, and you're like that too. Because that moment when I mentioned to you that I was going to go on a Saturday, because you asked me, what are you doing this week? And I'm like, well, I'm going to be at an event for Artstream. And you asked, what is Artstream? And I told you what it was. And I was like, you want to come? And you said, yeah, sure. And that's the whole point, right? Because we're going there. And by the way, anyone looking at this podcast, please look into Artstream as well. They do it great.
They're great.
They're great, right? These are men and women that would be considered neurodiverse. And they give them a platform so they can become actors for maybe 1-2 times. And when the men and women are in that platform, they're living their dreams. They're the movie stars for that moment. For them, our clap, our cheer, that 1-2 hours that we're there, it makes a difference. Like, you can see their eyes light up.
Yeah.
And my favorite part is going afterwards and telling them what a great job they did, take a picture with them.
Yeah.
Probably get an autograph
or
something.
Yeah. 100%.
It's
they're so good. I remember that time too. They're so good. They're so excited. They say like their part so well, and they just live it. They live the moment, and it just makes you feel emotional. It makes you feel good,
Yeah.
To be witnessing that, to be there, and to be able to support them, it's a really, really good feeling. Which reminds me, isn't that coming up?
Yes.
We gotta go.
We gotta go to the events. Yeah. I think it's couple of months from now, they're going to start with their event again. So we'll be there.
Let's go for sure. Okay, I love it. Okay, so talked about you. We talked about your business slightly, networking, lifestyle, philanthropy. Now, I need to know, what advice would you say to people? How, and when I ask the question, I mean, what do you wish you knew before, before you got to where you are now? Because I feel when we talk and when I look at you, I'm like, Kenny's successful. Kenny made it. Even though you
appreciate it.
You probably don't feel that way. Everybody that's made it is like, I'm not there yet. There's still something else and something else and something else. And there's always going to be something else. But for somebody who made it in comparison to many other people, what advice would you want to give your, your younger self or to anybody else out there?
Thanks, brother. Hopefully they edit this because I'm blushing right now. No,
You'll be good. It's all about being natural. It's natural.
So let's see. Advice. What? That's a good question, right? What do I wish I would have known before starting the business? I think that's what you're asking me, or before going into entrepreneurship.
It could. I mean, you could take it any given way, because entrepreneurship is in two parts. It's like the personal part, and then it's the professional part. So, either or.
I've thought about that question for a long time, right? Because of just the path that it took to get here.
Right.
My answer to that today, right, would be I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change anything that I've done. So if you're asking me, I think what you're asking me is, what advice would I give a younger Kenny, right?
Pretty much.
Okay, I wouldn't.
Pretty much.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Okay.
The only thing I would tell a younger Kenny is keep coming back. Don't stop. Don't give up.
Okay.
Because if I was to give my younger self an advice,
Uh-huh.
I would be totally a different person. I think enjoying. Okay, so there you go. The only thing I would say is enjoy the path.
Okay.
Enjoy the challenges. Enjoy the trials and tribulations. Just believe that at the end of the day, those trials and tribulations would turn you into the man or woman you want to become.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay. That's fair. Enjoy it. Enjoy the path. Zero regrets. But if you could say, let's say, top 3 things that have gotten you to where you are, top 3 things that you would want to share with the general audience.
Okay, so business-wise, write a list. I know that's cliche, right? You write a list. I think I shared my list with you, right?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Business-wise, what you want to do 5 years from now, 10 years from now. I know, it sounds, for me, was silly. The first time, and this was almost, let's see, it'll be 5 years this coming up May that I wrote that list.
Nice.
That list that we're talking about, like I want to
Is that the list that's in that special
that's
place?
been updated.
Is that it's a different one?
Yeah, the one that you saw.
Is it in the same place?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So write a list. Write a list of personal goals, business goals, and believe in yourself. I know the first time I actually got that pen and put it to paper, it sounded silly.
Yeah.
It really did. I'm writing this down.
Yeah.
5 years from now.
I'm writing my dreams on a piece of paper.
5 years from now, I want to buy this business, become a partner of this business, or start my business. I want to travel the world. I want to spend more time with my kids. I want to be, focus more on my health. Then the other thing is like the mind, body, and spirit, right? Keep seeking the God of my understanding. So that list has grown now that you see it.
Yeah.
So one thing, write a list.
So
write all your dreams down.
That list is like your vision board.
Yes.
So some people know it as a vision board. People is like
I'm a little bit older. That's a new thing right there.
What is that? Generation X, Y, Z? What is that? Which one is that?
You can consider me a new generation, but a vision board or writing a list down. Surrounding yourself with really good friends, with good mentorship, like friends like you, right? We bounce.
You're just saying that because we're on a podcast, huh?
No, not really. I mean, anyone I introduce you to, they know about you already before I make the introduction.
I'm just messing around with you.
So one, list, vision board, a good circle of friends and advisors. 3, have faith.
Faith. I love that. Friends and advisors.
Yeah.
For friends, what do you mean by advisors?
In business, we're talking about business only. Yeah. Advisors, like for instance, I'll name 4 of my advisors, right? Mark Bruno, Stephen Faze, let's see, Guy Brahmi, and obviously, my CPA, Bergman. So what I mean by advisors is like, I may have the greatest idea. I'm a doer.
Yeah.
I do things, right? But I may have the greatest idea ever. I'll bounce it off of them and get their input.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I
Okay.
mean by advisors. Like,
Okay.
I may think I have the greatest marketing plan, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe we get into this new venture. Perhaps we do this differently in our business. It's about relying on other people.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And also having the kind of the faith where you're like, because when you're somebody that executes and you're in the position that you are as a CEO, you don't necessarily want to listen to other people, but it's also having that, I think, self-awareness and that confidence in yourself and confidence in those other people to say, maybe they know a little bit more than me. Maybe there's an angle that I'm not looking at that they can help me see. That also says a lot about you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's highly important.
Yeah, it
And
is.
then what I mean with friends is like, for example, you, right? We talk all the time. And I'll put it out this in the podcast. Do you remember, what was it, Wednesday that we were texting, or Thursday? I think it was Thursday.
Is it when we were talking about the Lambo?
No, not the Lamborghini. No, that I
Okay.
was in a better mood. When I told you,
Because that was Thursday. The Lamborghini. No, the Lamborghini was
Wednesday,
Friday.
Wednesday night. We were texting Wednesday night, remember? And I told you, by the way, I haven't shared this with anyone, but I'm starting to feel I was alluding to, I was feeling burned out from having
Oh,
like
yes.
3 months we were just rock and rolling, like
Yeah.
12, 16-hour days,
Which is a
like
good thing.
nonstop, right? Good for
That
business.
means a lot of money is
Yes.
coming in.
And then we started texting, and then we were just talking about this stuff. And that's where friends really
Yeah.
play a big, big deal. It's like where I can text this person,
Mm,
and I know this person wants nothing but the best for me.
right.
And it's mutual. We do need friends. As business owners, it can be lonely. It's
Lonely
a
at the
lonely,
top, man.
lonely road.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that was like at 11:30 that we were texting. See,
Yeah,
I couldn't text my business advisors at 11:30.
Oh, definitely
No,
not.
definitely not. So that's where friends.
They'll
and
answer
business-
tomorrow. The
They'll
next day,
answer tomorrow.
Kenny, why were you texting me so late?
So again, that's where friends and business advisors.
Yeah, I love that. And the last thing you mentioned,
Faith.
faith.
In something. I mean, the God of your understanding, faith. Whatever you have faith in, just believe
Yeah.
that you're in that spot for a reason. Now, whatever dreams you have, right? That those dreams were given to you for a reason.
Yeah. Wow, that's deep. I love it.
No, that's just from experience alone. I mean, this is nothing new. I mean, it's just experience.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that mindset. I love the concept. I think I agree with like 99.9% of it. And like faith, the last part, faith is super important to me. I'm big on that. And again, having the belief in something is extremely, extremely important. Because life and business, there's a lot of uncertainty. So when things happen, you need to have something that you can kind of hold on to, something that you can trust, something that you have kind of in the back to, as like I don't want to what I want to say, like core something.
Yeah, I understand, because there's days where the motivation is gone,
Oh yeah.
right? The energy's not there, but you have that faith, right? That, or like during the trials and tribulations, is that faith that carries you through it. Just knowing that, you know what, this is not it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like that.
Like God didn't bring me this far just to drop me, right, on my
Yeah.
head, or whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that faith. It's just that faith in that, the God of your understanding. It's that.
Yeah. No, I like that. I like that a lot. So I think this has been awesome, my friend.
Cool.
This has been extremely, extremely good. I know before this, when we were talking, you said you wanted to potentially ask some questions. So I don't normally do this, but I'll open it up to you. If you want to ask some questions, go ahead.
All right. So perfect. So let's talk about trials and tribulations for you. What has kept you, I guess, moving forward when you? Because I look. By the way, let me start this off. I look up to you. There's a big age difference, but I
Yeah,
trust your
slightly.
advice. I bounce things off of you. I respect you a lot. I respect your knowledge.
Appreciate
I
it.
respect your drive, your passion. So tell me, like, what keeps you moving forward?
I'm as you know, I'm taking a 10-week kind of startup entrepreneur mentorship program, and they had us write our burning desires. So I know, right? Just writing it on paper was exciting. So the burning desires that I wrote is, let's see, I think it was 3 or 4. Let me just think. Yeah, I know. Well, first one is God for me. That's number one. Second is family. Third is, I know which one the third is, but I think it's 3 or 4. It's legacy. So that's my burning desire. One, like you kind of ended off, we were put on this planet, for something. We have all these goals, we have all these dreams, we have all this passion, and yeah, it's up and down. Like sometimes I feel like I don't want to do anything. Sometimes I feel unmotivated. Sometimes I feel like I don't want to, get up and do what I have to do. And then other days I wake up and I'm like, I wish I could keep going and keep this. Like I wish I had more time so I can do all the things that I have in mind. And I think it just kind of resets every day, and it comes down to God. It's like He put us here for something. Like let's make it, like let's do what we need to do, and everything that He gives us, the ideas are all from Him. Everything is from Him. So like let's not take that for granted because we're only here for a limited amount of time. That's
that.
number one for me. Second is family. Without family, for me, my family is very important to me, and I think that's the best way to sum up family.
Yeah.
And then the legacy part is, it kind of ties into philanthropy. So my goal is really to all of these things that are being created. My goal is to be able to give back and to give people, my family and the people around me, opportunities that and it's hard to say, but opportunities that I may have not had per se. Like I've always seen and there's levels to everything. But I've always seen in movies like and I'm now alluding to a different example. You see there's rich people and they have kids, and then they introduce their kids to like deans, to like politicians, to like celebrities, and then those kids, they get the best jobs, and then they have all these opportunities and stuff. And I think that's cool, and that's always been an interesting concept for me. And I just want to give my family the best opportunity that I can, and also legacy. So instead of leaving that to the 1%, I would want to build a platform to get, if you want to, if you're motivated and if you're interested in it, to get people to be able to get to that baseline, to have access to those, people that can change their lives, that can make those introductions, that can educate them, that can give them the foundational resources that, other people have, but for a more general audience. So that's my like big goal. It's like giving back, but on a larger scale, so more people have opportunity. And that's like a big reason why I want to build this platform. It's for people to learn, and it's also for people to like get the motivation. And once they have it, it's like, great, now we have these resources where we can share this with you, and you can also meet people that can lead you in the right direction. But first, it's going to start with the awareness, and then it's going to they need the motivation, the attitude, as you know, when you're high, like even with the people around you in your life, that. And then the fourth thing is like, come out, we'll talk, and we'll see how we can help you out. It's about building, I guess it's like a value system, building something where we can make an impact. I feel like if you and it's like sales. If you impact one person, they have a family. That's your minimum touching 2 or 3 people. So that's gonna cross generations. So that's, to sum it all up, that's my answer.
That's awesome. I like that. You remember that one time we were both talking, and that word came up where God is driving. We're just on the passenger side, and it's up to us when we decide to exit.
Yeah,
that's cool. So we have a few more minutes. So I like the fact that you were talking about philanthropy. I see that in you too, though. I do. I've seen the amount that you give back. Now, let's talk about easy money versus, you know what that term is, right?
I don't.
Like stock market, day traders, like.
Oh my gosh,
okay.
dude.
So
like the GameStop people.
Yeah. So talk to the audience that's your age, right?
Yeah.
What is your take on that?
On what?
on becoming day traders, signing up to these courses to become day traders or selling on Amazon. Would you do that?
Yeah, I mean, that's a hard question. It's an it's a hard question because I have to be as brutally honest as possible while being diplomatic and while using tact. Um, would I personally do it? Probably not. Is it a good method? There's people that have done it, that have achieved it. So I don't want, like, I'm not knocking anybody down. It's possible. If you're motivated, do it. Try it out. And like everybody's parents say, if you do the best that you can, you will be, whatever you do the best that you can. There's other ways of making money. I would say start out with what you like and then be realistic. Start out with what you like and then like have self-talk. See what your hard skills are and what your soft skills are, and then kind of see if it aligns with your passion. If it doesn't, get the hard skills. Soft skills, you can kind of learn them. But there's a lot of courses online and everything. I think continual education is super important.
Yes.
To be able to do what you're passionate on. But in order to do that, you need to have some sort of skill set to make it happen. So if you want to make money, don't do it. If you're passionate about it, do it because you're going to enjoy it. And like for me, for example, I'm in a couple different spaces. One of those being commercial cleaning, and then one of those being marketing, among others. But dude, I could be in the shower, bro, and I'm literally thinking about like how we can give more value, how like other distribution methods, pricing strategy. I'm thinking about partnerships. I'm like very motivated about what I do. So I'm always thinking, like my brain is always on. So I'm always thinking about other things. So about that question, you need to have the passion because if you're not, it's going to feel like a job and you're going to hate it. But if you're passionate about it, then your mind is always going to be going and you're going to find you'll be able to find the right way to get to where you want to go because you like it.
I like what you said. It starts with passion. And you're right. And the only reason why I brought it up is because there's nothing easy.
Yeah.
Those courses that are selling like we could make you a millionaire in a month or two.
The thing about the
I'll
courses,
answer it. The chances of because you're more diplomatic than I am in that sense. It's almost slim to none. It's almost like becoming a NFL player, NBA player, MLB professional player. It's almost slim to none. There's really no easy pass or easy pass expressway to generating wealth, and you have to be passionate about it too.
Right. I want to clarify with the get rich quick schemes. If somebody, let's put it this way, when you want to decide whether you can make a lot of money with an online business, that somebody is saying, I can teach you how to make this online business, make a lot of money. I feel like the question that you need, I'm not saying this to you, I'm saying this in general. The question that people need to ask is, if this person teaching me is making so much money with this business, why is he taking the time to teach other people to do it? Because when you teach other people to do it, you're breeding competition. More competition means less profit. Less profit means less money. I feel like a lot of times the courses make more money than the actual business itself. So it's something, if you guys really want to make that, passion aside, if you really want to make that decision, you have to look at it a little black and white and look at the logic of it and really ask yourself that question. And you can ask the other person that question too. And something else you can do is hear from other perspectives. Learn from, aside from the people in the people from the videos are likely paid sponsors because nobody's going to, if I ask somebody for a testimonial, I know that they're happy with my service. Yeah. So you need to ask for testimonials, ask how long they've been doing it for, what the results were, how much they invested in it, how much time they invested, and then see for yourself the reality of it. You can make it work, but it'll take a lot of different things.
Thanks, man. Thanks for answering those questions.
I wanted to clarify the FBA and the online thing because you said it was a little too diplomatic, so I wanted to be clear and to the point. Clear and to the point. So that's that end. But no, man, I love it. This has been awesome, bro.
I appreciate it,
Whenever
brother.
you want to buy something fun, like we said, the boat, that sounds awesome. But if you want to buy like an exotic car, please do it because I love exotic cars. So please do it. You never say that. You never say, hey, well, you told me that one time you were at Lamborghini. I do remember that. Which you should have bought it. You know, maybe down the line, maybe in the future.
In the future. We'll make it happen at the same time.
In the future, man, in the future. But this has been awesome. I appreciate you, bro, so much for coming online. And yeah, you're a great friend. I tell you this all the time. You've become a brother, and we met. You took a picture of the business card that I gave you. Was it 3? When was the date?
3/11.
3/11/23.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's like less than a year ago, and we already have like a brotherly bond. So I appreciate you, man. That says a lot about you. So all I can say is thank you. I appreciate you. Thanks for making it happen, and thank you for being here, man.
Thank you. Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Episode 2, the Level Up Project.